to the coffee bar with your favorite bartender, a 5 cup of coffee, and we are going to be talking about Justice League Dark, the Apocalypse War, which is a wonderful, wonderful story. Um, I definitely want to get right into this. The drink that we're going to be drinking is the Darkseid because he's pretty much the main character of this story. In my eyes, it kind of tells his story. And also, that being stated, this is a little bit strong. And just like this, that movie is not for the faint of heart. So we start off, right? We start off with Superman rallying the troops, all the Justice League. You got Constantine there, you got Batman, the Flash, all the regulars, everybody's there, right? And he's basically rallying everybody because basically Darkseid has come, and not only has he come to Earth, he actually sent Doomsday, which pretty much almost killed Superman. Not only did he almost kill Superman, he destroyed the Justice League. Like, they didn't even stand a chance. Doomsday was something else in the Superman storyline in the episodes before, or the quote unquote movies before. I call them episodes because they're basically a big television show. And in any case, while he's doing that, unbeknownst to them, Cyborg, because he is made of a mother box, which is from the planet Apocalypse, you got Darkseid actually peering through his cybernetic eye, and he actually sees what's coming. So Superman basically leads the whole Justice League into a huge trap. And just to kind of forego the flashbacks real quick, we're going to kind of discuss it in chronological order because they all went there and almost nobody made it back. It was bad. Like, you had, first and foremost, Constantine. He actually ran from the fight, and Zatanna, he has to watch Zatanna get torn apart by what they call paradooms, which are the mix between the parademons and Doomsday, which it was bad. So you see her get literally torn to pieces. You got Shazam, his leg gets torn off. You see a whole bunch. Actually, Dick Grayson gets killed trying to save Damian Wayne, and it's all bad. And the people that did make it, which include the Flash, is made into basically Darkseid's battery for his ship. You got Batman, who was brainwashed, and now he's basically the general for Darkseid. You got Superman. He ironically didn't kill Superman. He injects him with kryptonite, and now Superman is walking around barely with any powers because he's been injected with kryptonite. Wonder Woman is made into a cyborg. You got Starfire. She's made into a cyborg. John Jones, aka the Martian Manhunter, he's made into a cyborg. It's bad, guys. It gets really dark. They call this Justice League Dark for a reason, because it gets really dark and it gets bad for our heroes. So flash forward, Constantine is basically drinking himself to waste. Him and Etrigan are basically drinking themselves to death. And Superman and Raven kind of come in. They try to convince them that, hey, we need to, basically the plan is to get Batman back on their side and try to fight back. And at first Constantine isn't with it, but of course, this is only about a 90-minute movie, so he changes his mind pretty quickly after they're attacked by some paradooms. So they enlist two people's help. They go and enlist the help of Damian Wayne, who is now over the League of Assassins, and then they go in and enlist the help of Lex Luthor, who is actually a sleeper agent. You at first you think he's pretty cowardly or whatnot, but he's actually a sleeper agent who's been helping the Suicide Squad so they can mount an attack in the near future. So they all do that, and Lois Lane goes basically and wins a fight against Harley Quinn, of all people. I don't think that's ever possible. One thing I didn't like about this movie, if I had to nitpick. But yeah, she beats her, and they convince the Suicide Squad to help them as well. So they basically mount an attack with the help of Lex Luthor. They go back to the planet of Apocalypse, and Superman has one of Lex's suits on, and that's how he's gonna be of help at this point. They go to Planet Apocalypse, and Dark. While they go to Apocalypse, they're trying to help Cyborg that's been grafted into his ship. Like there's no help for him. They finally get him where he's okay with the help of Constantine. But while they're doing that, check this out: the whole Green Lantern Corps, the planet itself, is basically demolished by Darkseid. He goes through it. He wipes out everybody in the Green Lantern Corps like it was nothing. And then he has the magma from Earth, some of the Earth's core, pour into the planet Oa, and it's kind of a sad sight because you see John Stewart like reciting the Green Lantern motto and everything, and you think he's gonna actually be able to do something, and all of a sudden you just see this slab of magma come and hit the planet, and all you see is his bones, and his arm is still, or just ash, and he just fades away. And so that's the end of Oa. Like he wrecks everybody, even like the Guardians. He like wrecks everybody, and then he comes back with Batman, and he's like, man, it's time to get busy. And so they confront Darkseid, and meanwhile, Raven actually lets loose her dad, which actually gave them some problems in a few previous movies back in Justice League versus the Teen Titans. Trigon actually is let loose, and he actually kills Constantine and inhabits Superman. So you got Superman inhabited by Trigon fighting Darkseid, which is an awesome fight, by the way. And while this is happening, you got Damian Wayne getting his butt handed to him by Batman. Batman is knocking him all over the place. And meanwhile, you got the Suicide Squad actually squaring off against the Paradooms. So all of this is happening at the same time. It's actually pretty awesome. And in all of this, in order to keep everything going, Lois and Lex Luthor and the Suicide Squad basically live up to the name of the Suicide Squad. They sacrifice themselves in order to take the win, and they're completely destroyed by the Paradooms. And Superman gets mad and he takes control of Trigon, basically expelling him. And it's absolutely nuts. And so Trigon is expelled from Superman. So Superman goes right at Darkseid because he feels like it's his fault that it's his own fault that Lois died. Also, it's Darkseid's fault. So he's going with all he can against Darkseid. And of course, this particular Darkseid, one of my favorite incarnations, only because he's voiced by Tony Todd. So that makes him my favorite off the rip. But Superman is going toe to toe with him, but ultimately he fails. So Trigon actually takes a physical form, and actually Constantine is brought back to life through the help of Zatanna. And you find out that Batman always had a plan B anyway, which was Constantine, which is pretty cool, and a nice callback to the Justice League Dark movie that came out before that. So all that happens, and Trigon basically fights Darkseid, and he calls him one of the new gods, but he's not impressed. They fight. That fight is awesome, and you get down to the point where you're trying to figure out what's going to actually happen. So they get Cyborg to boom tube them into pretty much oblivion. And Cyborg, of course, can't go because he's grafted into the ship, so he can't go. They free the Flash, and they all boom tube out of there. And they all boom tube out of there with the cyborgs, John and Diana and all of them. They boom tube out of there, and Trigon actually helps and holds Darkseid back while they're boomed into oblivion. So that's how they defeat Darkseid. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. But the thing I like about this movie is there are definitely consequences. Even though the good guys win, it definitely doesn't feel like a win. You got the cyborg Diana, you got the cyborg Starfire. She's caring for Grayson, who actually Damian Wayne, he felt bad for, so he put him in the pit, in the Lazarus pit, and he came back kind of sort of a zombie. So he's half alive. The Flash is still recovering. Batman is still recovering. It's just not it's not a win, to be honest. It's really not a win. Actually, Etrigan dies in the battle that they had on Apocalypse, and it's just they got rid of Darkseid, but it's definitely not a win. And so this is how we actually end the story, because Constantine can feel the fact that Flashpoint started all of this, and so he tells the Flash, "Hey, I know you probably don't want to do this, but you need to run back in time and do it again." And he, against his better judgment, he does it, because he looks around and he sees, victory is not a victory. So he runs back in time, and that's how the story ends. And that's the last actual chapter of the Flashpoint paradox up until this point. So you had the Flashpoint paradox that started it all, and then you have Apocalypse War that ends it. And I loved it through and through. I watched it, I can't tell you how many times I watched it. I know I've watched it, no exaggeration, at least 15 to 20 times since it's come out early summer. So definitely want to give you all a small review on it. And if I had to give it a rating, I would definitely give it a I gotta give this movie a 9 out of 10. 8.5, 9 out of 10 cups of coffee. Because it's very little that I did not like about this movie. And I know it's cartoon, and I know I rate the cartoon movies high, but come on, DC and their animated movies are awesome. And this is one of the best ones they've ever put out. Outside of Flashpoint Paradox and outside of Under the Red Hood, this is one of my favorites. And I gotta say, anybody else that agrees with me, disagrees with me, please let me know in the comments below. You guys, remember, like, share, subscribe, try the Darkseid out. It's really good. And join me for my next video. I will be doing The Boys Season 2, Episode 4. Also check out this video. And remember, you all, drink more coffee. Bye.